Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joseph Asipo. Musicmyears.com, Music My Ears TV on YouTube. Today, I just want to talk about something that has bothered me a bit, especially relating to the passing of Mohbad, and the young, talented artist that all of us have come to love following his demise. It so happens that a lot of us did not really know much about him or about his music when he was alive, myself included. I think I can say mainly because of probably his affiliations, his rebel affiliation, and that some of us were not really in tune with. But on his death, we discovered so much about Mohbad, a great talent, somebody that was still rising, and I believe would have made bigger impacts in the music industry, both in Nigeria and internationally. So today, a lot has happened. We are in the stage of maybe the investigations surrounding his death being getting into conclusions, and we just have to wait. But it's really sad that we miss such a talent in Nigeria. So my interest, because when all these things were going on, all the noise, the anger, the rage, the online issues, both for and against, the sympathies and all that, some of us just have to stay away and allow the heat to calm down, especially with the investigation, the police stepping in to investigate. But there are issues that bothers me as a person, as an interested party in the Nigerian music industry, as a consumer of Nigerian music, as a music historian. I just have to put my voice to this issue. But where I'm coming from, where it really bothers me, is the issue of what could have been if we had a good institutional intervention, especially in the case we know of. It's evident the guy was harassed, hounded in his lifetime. We don't know who, but from what we could gather from he himself, certain fingers were pointed at his label. So this raises the question of intervention. Could it have been possible that with good institutional intervention, some of the experiences the young man had could have been remedied? Let's not even be so fixated on Mohbad as a person. We know we have a lot of young people in Nigeria, a lot of talent, music-wise. And for this case, I bet you there are still going to be more cases because these young ones are looking for outlets. They are looking for platforms. They are looking for who can help. So once they see a semblance of help, they are ready to jump on it. And much of the time, they jump in without proper guidance. And when problems come, there's nobody to intervene. They are left on their own. So this is a primary concern, and that's why we are bringing this opinion at this point. So the fact remains that the Nigerian industry, as we have been saying over now, this is about the third time I'm going to put this, is growing, but growing without the industry growing. We have artists that have gone on to become A-list artists in the world. We have Grammy winners, BET winners. We have artists that have shut down whatever venue you can imagine, the biggest venues in the world. But what has happened to the industry in Nigeria? Where is the structure of the industry in Nigeria? That is where I have a problem as a person. And not only me, I know I've heard other opinions about this same situation. For instance, every artist wants to become a label. To me, it doesn't always work that way because being an artist, is not equal to you having the managerial competency to run a label. You may not be able to do PR, you will not be able to do A&R, you will not be able to do distribution. But I know we like comparing ourselves to maybe foreign things, foreign artists, because here Kanye West has a label, this artist has a label. Those artists label you are seeing are just artist level or management levels. And in that case, they are actually signed on to a bigger label, a bigger multinational label that takes care of much of the managerial aspects of the business. So music business is not different from any other business. You might be a creative, but you might not have the competency to run a label. And this is the reason why we have the experiences we're having. And this is one of the reasons that the young guy was harassed and hounded all over because of trying to exit from a label. And we should also know that this issue has always been, it's not a new thing. Far back as King Sunny Ade trying to leave African Star record, it is well documented. There were issues. You remember Majek Fashek trying to leave Tabansi, there were issues. We dragged on to court case. We had SANs on both sides. Tabansi had his own lawyers. Majek Fashek his own lawyers. Chris Okoti trying to leave Phonodisc to EMI. Problem. So there's always been problem. But in a way, it seems there were institutions that stepped in to kind of intervene or offer alternative angles or avenues for resolving those disputes between the artists and the labels, which eventually made the artists to be able to move. Chris Okoti moved to EMI, Majek moved to Sony Music because of intervention. But in this present time, it seems that intervention is totally lacking. And that is the core of this opinion. We have a body, we have a PMAN, which is the umbrella organization of musicians in Nigeria. But I bet you in the days of Tony Okoroji, Mustafa Amego, Christian Aisien, as presidents of PMAN, I am very sure they would have stepped in when the issue of harassment was going on. And I'm very sure Mohbad would have been a member of PMAN that time. But I'm not so sure if he was a member now. And this happens to be the circumstances with most other young artists. They don't belong to these institutions. So they cannot run to the institution for intervention when they have problems. But do you really blame them? I don't think so. So the question will now be, what has those institutions been able to do to keep attracting membership from these young guys? In my opinion, I believe a PMAN should be able to create avenues or things that will attract the younger artists to their fold to become members. Take a case of these contract issues. Some of these guys, when they are coming up, they don't have the money, they don't have the exposure, they don't know how to go to lawyers. But if an organization like PMAN should come up with, okay, we have a department that offers free advisory service to artists. If you're a young artist, if you want to sign a contract, come to us. We have legal advisors that will look into your contract. They can do this as a CSR so that these people can actually come in and they'll be encouraged to join. That's the whole point. They'll be encouraged to register as members. I know Pretty Okafor has done well. They've built, I think they've gotten a house and all that for the organization. But I think the membership drive is still lacking. Even if they don't have a legal, maybe it could be expensive getting lawyers to give free counseling service, they can tap into the elders that they have, the experienced one, the Charlie Boys of this world, the Shina Peters of this world, all those senior artists. They can offer their service and see how they can advise the younger artists, the Sonny Neji, the Paul Players. I believe the Daddy Showcase. I believe they will be in a position to offer advice. Kenny Ogumbe is still there, even though he's not, he's an entrepreneur. He can come in from the angle of a label owner and offer advice. So when you're talking of labels, like I said, every artist wants to be a label. Are you running the label the way it should be? In Nigeria, as much as we know, the labels have been labels. You can count them. You know the Polygram that later became Premier, EMI, Aphrodisia, Decca, Phonodisc, Tabansi, Rogers All-Star, Clover, Time. Outside that, and in later years, Kenny's. Out of those, outside those, and a few other ones that I might not remember, are not really labels in the real sense of it. Then you have the collecting society. The problem comes when everybody, we have collecting societies that are fighting each other. MCSN, COSON. The problem is, why not allow artists to belong where they want to belong? I believe a collecting society would have been able to equally intervene because, like still in the case of Mohbad, we are having issue of royalty streaming. Who is in charge of his royalties? How do we get access to his royalties? Did he register with the collecting society? Were there incentives? Was there awareness that he could join these societies? Those are the challenges. And that's where my interest is as a person, as a consumer. That we need to do more. The institutions need to do more. The music writers, journalists need to do more in educating these young ones. There's a lot more. The industry is supposed to be well. The data for industry is supposed to be well integrated to the economic aspect of our nation. How much foreign exchange does it earn? We don't know. And it's a big export, and nobody wants to talk about it. How do we analyze what the value of the industry to the economy? It's lost somewhere. No data, nothing. We want to understand it. Maybe the government is not supporting the industry, but then for the ones the industry can do, they should just do it. I bet you, even with these circumstances, there are still a lot more young people that will not mind jumping into contracts that might end up causing problems for them. For every for every um, Mohbad, there are still more Mohbad that are upcoming. So that's it. We just hope for the best.